Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because it is going to be my first favorites and fails that I'm going to be doing on my channel. I'm going to be doing this as a monthly series, as I know many others do, where I'm going to be talking to you guys about products I was loving this past month, products that I was not loving, and then some that just kind of fall in the middle. I was considering doing this ranking style, but I don't think I'm going to be doing it ranking style, at least not as of right now. If you guys would prefer some sort of ranking style monthly favorites and fails, let me know. But for today, we're just going to be talking about each kind of separate category. So if you're interested in seeing the products that I was loving this month, not loving, and those that just kind of fell in between, then stay tuned. But first, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing before you go. And other than that, let's just get into the video. Okay, so I'm going to start with the products that didn't work for me. All of these products came into my life in some way or another between like January and December. So starting with a couple of products that just did not work for me. These were absolute disasters. So both of these products are from Billion Dollar Brow. I got these in my BoxyCharm in January. So first, I have the Billion Dollar Brows Universal Brow Pencil. And the reason that this was such a fail is that every time I go to use this, the product like pushes back in. Like it literally, like I'll have it rolled up, like not obviously here, but roll it up. I'll start drying, and then, I mean, like it pushes all the way back into the pencil. So I don't know if that's just a flaw with my specific pencil or if it is just this product. I don't feel like I've ever really liked anything all that much that I've tried from Billion Dollar Brows, so that was a complete fail. And then also their brow gel does literally nothing. I feel like it's just like water in a tube. I will like run this through my brows, and 3 minutes later I'll have brows like way out of place again. So their brow gel, I'm not even gonna waste my time trying to use this because it truly does nothing other than maybe I could like comb through my brows and then put brow product in. It's just not worth the battle. Sorry, my husband's vacuuming. It's just not worth the battle, and you will probably be seeing this in an upcoming declutter video. Okay, so this next one, so I have this set of the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian strengthening conditioner and shampoo that they just released, and this specifically is the conditioner. The conditioner is in my fail category. The shampoo is in a separate category, and I actually bought the shampoo before the conditioner and then wanted to review both of them together. So I wanted to pick up the conditioner even though I wasn't really in need of a new conditioner. The conditioner says that it's supposed to be strengthening and smoothing. This does smell like the just, you know, original Boom Boom cream, so I do really like the scent of this. It feels fine going on the hair. You wash it and then it dries, and like for me, I'm a nighttime shower, so my hair can get like a little out of control when it dries anyway, but I felt like I needed like a detangler. Like my hair just felt extra tangled and it felt dry the next day. Now I typically have been defaulting to like a deep conditioning mask, and then I'll just pair that with a shampoo. My favorite shampoo and conditioner pairing is the Hydrosource line from Biolage, but because I was out of shampoo, I thought it would be fun to try the new Sol de Janeiro shampoo and conditioner. I really don't like the conditioner. I'm not gonna lie, I'm considering possibly returning the conditioner. I've used it like 2 or 3 times, had the same result every time. I definitely need to go in with like an oil, or I could use the second as a conditioner and then also go in with a deep conditioning mask, but like what's really the point of that? So for me, the conditioner did not work. Now I do have really thick hair that can tend to be dry and damaged, especially like considering how often I have been heat styling it or been dyeing it. Ever since I bleached my hair a couple years ago, it just never has truly been the same, but this did nothing as far as making my hair feel softer, smoother, any of that. So for me, this was definitely a fail, which is a bummer because this retails for like $25. You can get this set, I think, for $40 or $45, but if you buy them individually, they're $25 a pop, which is really expensive for a shampoo and conditioner. You are getting 10 fluid ounces. I'm not really sure what like a standard shampoo and conditioner is, but 25 is expensive. So those are my thoughts on the conditioner. We'll get to the shampoo in a little bit. And then the other 2 products I have both came from an Ulta haul that I did recently. So first, This super bums me out. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Nourishing Foundation, and this is just a little bit too luminous and a little bit too dewy. It sinks into my fine lines, and alone I really can't make this work. I could use this as like a foundation when I'm going to the gym because it's so light coverage. I almost feel like you could consider this a tinted moisturizer. I do have mine in the shade 520 Fair for reference, and it is a pretty good shade match for me. Now this does have coconut milk and aloe vera extract, so I feel like this is one that is like good for your skin. I also feel like the longevity on this it doesn't wear very well. However, I have found a way to make this work. Otherwise, this would be something that I would possibly consider returning as well, just because I really just didn't enjoy using it the times that I used this by itself. I really like to mix this with my Clinique Even Better foundation, and the two together make this not as luminous but also still leave the skin looking healthy and natural. So I'm gonna use it up that way. This isn't something that I would repurchase. If you have like super youthful, not wrinkly, not any wrinkles, and you prefer a really light coverage foundation, I feel like this would work really well for you. Again, I just feel like it sinks into my fine lines and wrinkles because it's kind of that really like liquidy, luminous sort of feel. So this just wasn't a favorite. I thought I was gonna really love this. I was really excited for this, but definitely not a favorite. And then another product I thought I was going to absolutely love. So this is a super, super bummer. I seriously thought this was going to be like my new staple go-to lip balm. This is from Buxom. It is their new Powerful Plump Lip Balm. And this is in the shade Inner Glow, which is kind of like a nudie pink sort of shade. Here it is right here. Sorry, I have old swatches on my arm over here. But it's like this nudie pink shade, and my gripe with this is that because the crayon or like size of this is like a jumbo glue stick, and because this is fairly pigmented, even if I go on just like and I'm careful, I feel like I end up getting lipstick like outside the lines of my lips, and then it just looks sloppy and messy. Even if I don't wear makeup and I'm just using this as a balm, it just still looks sloppy and messy. So the only way I really use this is to like lightly dab on the center of my lips, just like a little bit, to add like a little bit of something to the middle, kind of do like almost, I don't think it's an ombre look, but I do like to pair this with my Maybelline Baddest Beige, and I'll put this in the middle of my lips, and then I'll go on top of everything with Baddest Beige, and I do like the way that that looks. But I was hoping to just use this by itself as a balm. This also kind of has that minty sort of vibe that makes it feel like your lips might be getting a little bit plump. But I have heard like minty or mentholy products or whatever in your lip products can also dry out your lips, which isn't the point of a balm, at least not in my opinion. So this was a bust for me. I'm not going to return this. I know I can make this work and use this up, but I think this was $18, so relatively expensive, and I was just pretty let down by this. Again, I was thinking I was going to absolutely love this, and it definitely did not turn into a love. So next we're going to move into the sort of like fine category. Samantha March does this in her monthly like makeup roundup videos, and I wanted to include a fine category as well, because as I was trying to decide between like favorites, fails, etc., there were a bunch of products that I really liked, but I definitely wouldn't consider them favorites, or they wouldn't be something that I would recommend to like everyone. So I wanted to include this middle category. And to start, I have a hair product that I recently picked up. I recently went through my little sample size or like travel size of my Bumble and Bumble Invisible Oil like spray, the heat protectant spray. So I wanted to try something new just to like, you know, I want to expand my horizons in like hair care as well. So I decided to pick up this one from AG Hair Care. This is the Firewall Argan Shine and Flat Iron Spray. This is supposed to help smooth your hair, and it is also supposed to help heat protect or help protect your hair from heat up to, I thought it said on here. It doesn't give an exact amount, but when I looked online, this is also supposed to be heat protecting. And I read online that there were some reviews that said like I have to do less passes when I'm doing like straightening my hair, which is what really intrigued me. So that is why I decided to pick this up. And the reason I'm putting this in the fine category is because I believe I still would default back to the Bumble and Bumble heat protectant spray over this one. One, I like the scent of the Bumble and Bumble one a little bit better. Two, the Bumble and Bumble full size, you're getting 8, possibly more, it might be like 8.8, but at least 8 fluid ounces of product for $29. This is 5 ounces of product for $26. So this isn't quite as good of a value. And because this isn't an aerosol can, I just feel like you possibly like go through it even faster. And my other like last gripe with this is I don't know how to just, I'm gonna be really weird with my description of the scent, but this is like nails it on the head for me in terms of how I think of this. The scent of this isn't like off-putting like the Hot Toddy scent from Drybar. They're like heat protectant spray. I just cannot do that scent. This smells like there was like possibly like my grandma was getting ready in a hotel room, and it smells like a clean hotel room that my grandma's getting ready in and has like already sprayed her for her perfume. I don't know why that is what I get when I think of how this smells. When I first sprayed this on, I was like, yeah, I really like the scent, and then I was like, I just don't know if I love it. I definitely do feel like it has a really nice fine mist, as you can tell. I do feel like I did have to do less passes with my with my flat iron, which is really exciting. So it could be a situation where where I could maybe own this and use this to kind of help speed up the process of flat ironing, but then use my Bumble and Bumble as well as like the heat protecting part. I know that's kind of like going overboard with your products, but maybe I would use less of this then. I don't know. I'm just not 100% sold on this. I think it's a nice product. I think that a lot of people would really like this. I do really appreciate the fact that I feel like I have to go through, do less passes when I'm straightening my hair. I really appreciate that aspect because I don't get that with the Bumble and Bumble. But as far as the scent is concerned, it's not my favorite. And that's really the only gripe I have with this is the scent isn't my favorite. I just really love that Bumble and Bumble one. So maybe mixing the two, I would just like it a little bit better. That is my feeling on this. I know with AG too, I feel like if you wait long enough, you can get really good deals on AG hair care, like 40% off. So if I could get this 40% off, then for sure I would buy this and mix it with my Bumble and Bumble. But I would definitely want to get a deal on this, purchasing it in the future. I'll be curious to see how quickly I go through this. That'll kind of be like the make or break decision on whether or not I'll repurchase this, because if I fly through this, that kind of sucks. But as of right now, I like it. It's the scent that is the most off-putting part of this product to me. Ooh, next up I have a product I also thought I was going to absolutely love. I've been wanting to purchase this product. Like, it's been on my radar for years now. It's from Glossier and it's their balm.com. I specifically have mine in the coconut. I purchased this right at the beginning of January, and as you can tell, I've used a ton of this. Now, many of you, if you know me, are probably thinking to yourself, Steph, like, why is a balm, 2 balms now, not falling into your favorites category because you're like a balm loving biatch? But what I'll say about the Glossier is, so this can be used, it's a universal skin salve. I hope I'm saying that right. So you can use it on your lips, but you could also use it on your hands. And the way that it comes off is just like a little bit thicker than I prefer. And sometimes it just feels like, at first it's like really bally on your lips, like balls up, and then you can like, you use your finger more to like spread it out. I don't know, it just seems like a little bit finicky. And if I'm being truly honest with myself, I would just prefer, there's a lip balm coming up that I would prefer to use, or I like my Laneige lip sleeping mask. I could use that. I know that usually I only use at night, and this I use every single morning. But I also love my Kapari lip glossy, which I would prefer to use over this. So I don't want to say never, but I don't foresee myself repurchasing this. Maybe I'll get done with it and I will truly miss it. I do feel like it is really nourishing and hydrating on the lips, and I do feel like you get a good amount of product. You get 0.5 fluid ounces for, I think it's like $12, but then you can get a deal. I could be wrong on the price on that. But I just didn't love it as much as, like, I thought this was going to be my new ride or die lip balm, something that I could bring with that would maybe replace like my Beauty Agave lip sleeping mask. But it's just, it doesn't steal the show in that way. So was a little bit bummed by this. I still think it's a good product. I still think that there's a market for this. This is something that I would still recommend, especially if you like lip balms that are a little bit more thick, if you kind of need that hydration, if you live in a colder climate. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is snowing hard out here in Minnesota today. So those are my feelings on the GlossierBalm.com. So next up in my BoxyCharm this past month, I received the Farsali Liquid Glass, and I've used a decent amount of product of this for only having it the amount of time that I have. What I will say is I do really enjoy this product, but I don't know if I myself would go repurchase this at the $54 mark, which is why I'm putting it in the middle category, because like my favorites are products that if I finish up, I would repurchase, or if they went missing, I know I would repurchase. This is just really expensive. It's $54. It is really nice. You could use this as a priming serum. You put it all over your face. It definitely gives you a glossy, healthy glow to the skin. But my one complaint with this is that when you go on with your foundation, then it really just covers up any sort of glossiness that you have. I have also used this multiple days when I haven't worn makeup, and I feel like the sort of like glass-like gloss to the skin fades pretty quickly. I have also mixed this with a couple of my foundations just to see how it mixes with foundations, and I do feel like it adds a nice healthy glow to some foundations, so I really have been enjoying using it that way. The reason this isn't going to the favorite category is just because I'm not sure I would pay that full $54 price point, and I'm not sure I would recommend it for that $54. If it's something that intrigues you, like, go for it. I do think it might be just like a little bit gimmicky. I do overall really like most of the Farsali serums that I've tried. I just don't know if I could get myself to pay $54 when I finish this. This shouldn't be a problem for me to finish. One other thing that I wanted to mention about this is it does leave a bit of a tack to the skin. So you can, again, use this as a priming essence or a primer kind of as well. It's a cool product. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if I could consider it an absolute favorite. Like if this went missing from my collection, I don't know that I would be like that disappointed. So that's why I am putting it in the middle sort of fine category. Just a few more in the fine category. First, I have this Ciate London Wonder Wand mascara. I have a couple of these minis that have been sitting around, and I finally got around to trying this. This is my first time trying it. This is an okay mascara formula. It's a very wet formula, and I typically prefer a more dry formula. I do think this does a really nice job of giving some volume. It also does a nice job of separating the lashes without making your lashes look like spidery or clumpy, but it is just a wet formula, so you have to be very careful when using this. I've noticed that this can transfer on me, which is not my favorite. Do I think I would purchase this in a full size when I finish this? No, which is why I'm putting this in this category. But if you do like a wet mascara formula, and if you like wands that kind of have this more like curved sort of wand, I think you would really like this. This is really nice for giving a nice curl to the lash as well. So I wanted to mention this. Probably wouldn't replace some of my favorite mascaras, but I do still think it's a nice mascara, and I think there's a market for it, especially if you like more wet formulas. Again, that's not really my jam, but I know that some people do prefer a wet mascara formula. So those people might really like this Ciate London Wonder Wand mascara. Next, I have been testing out this Glow Recipe Blueberry Bounce Gentle Cleanser. I was really excited to test this out. You guys know I have been really intrigued by Glow Recipe as a brand. I've really found a lot of products throughout their line that I have really enjoyed, and this I think is okay. It's just I'm very picky about my favorite cleansers. Like I am ride or die for my favorite cleansers, and this just isn't gonna be one of those. I can already tell it's just not gonna be one of those. I've used a decent amount of this. So this I thought for some reason was gonna be more of like when you squirted it onto your hand, it was gonna be more foaming, but when you squirt it onto your hand, it actually comes out in this gel-like consistency, and then when you get it wet Obviously mine's not wet right now, but if you get it wet, it sort of foams up as you kind of buff it into the skin. It is really gentle. I haven't noticed any sort of eye irritations. I can get serious eye irritations from some cleansers. The Origins one that I'm using right now, the 3-in-1, I really love the cleanser, but it stings my eyes so bad that I will not repurchase it when I finish it. This is super gentle, so if you have sensitive skin, I think you would really like this. My big thing is I just love my Tatcha Deep Cleanse. That's like my ride or die morning cleanser. I also really like the kale green tea, like kale, Youth to the People kale cleanser. That's ride or die. And if I'm going for a foaming cleanser, I love the Core's Greek yogurt foaming cleanser. So this won't be a problem for me to finish. I am traveling soon, so I plan to bring this traveling with me. And again, a great gentle cleanser, but not something I think I will repurchase once I finish this little deluxe size sample. And then the last thing that falls into my fine category, I did want to mention this Fairy Tales Storybook Cosmetics palette that we received in our BoxyCharm in December. So I know there were 2 separate palette color stories that were going out. This is the one that I got, and I was at first very intimidated by the color selection of this, but when I really got going with this palette, I was like dipping into the mauve purples, but then also pairing it with blues, and I was having a lot of fun with this palette. I think the quality on this is really nice. The shimmers perform really well, and they stay on the eyes really well throughout the day. Sometimes you get those shimmers where it's like you put it on, then 2 hours later you're like, did I put eyeshadow on today? But I felt like these performed really well, and even though this could look like an intimidating color story to some, I think it actually was really well curated and really well thought out. I thought that this was going to possibly be a palette that I was going to end up decluttering right away, but I'm really happy that I decided to keep it, because I think some of these blues are super unique to my collection. Now, I don't know what this retails for full price, and one other gripe I have with this is that it is very bulky. Now, I do have all my palettes on my mantelpiece, so this kind of fits into the aesthetic because it kind of looks like a book on my mantelpiece. But I can see how the bulky packaging, like, it's just super unnecessary. I get it, like, I get the whole aesthetic of the brand and the vibe, but it is really bulky and unnecessary. So that would be one gripe that I have, and I'm not sure how much this retails for. I feel like these might retail for like $54, which I think is really expensive. So I think if it is that $54 price point, and unless all of these colors speak to you, probably not something I would really recommend. You probably don't really need it. So that's kind of why I'm putting it in this fine category. This definitely isn't a palette that I reach into every day to create looks for. Like, I really don't feel like this is something I would reach into to create work appropriate looks. This is more of like a fun palette, just a play around with palette. But I did want to mention this because sometimes I feel like things in my BoxyCharm that I receive, I don't get to review as often. So I thought the monthly makeup favorites and fails would be a good time to talk about some of these. And then I'll also do like my rehauls. If I do like a haul video, I'll do a rehaul where I come back and like review everything that I picked up during like a Sephora haul or an Ulta haul. And I'm trying to not include as many of those items in my favorites and fails unless it was like truly a fail or truly a favorite. But I want to make sure I'm also talking about products that I'm getting through like subscription services or things like that, or maybe picked up not during like a haul. And this is one of those products. So I just thought this was okay. I feel like, you know, there's ways to make this work. Would I recommend this to everyone? Really no, but it was a nice quality palette. All right, you guys, and now we are moving on to my favorites category. And I have some skincare, some lip, a palette, a concealer. I'm really excited about my favorites. So let's start with this. So this is the Sol de Janeiro strengthening and smoothing shampoo. And the shampoo I really like. It's the conditioner that I don't. And what I found with myself as of recently is I like to purchase a shampoo, not necessarily a shampoo and conditioner set. And then I go in for my conditioner, I do a deep conditioning mask. Right now I'm using a really random one, but I really like it. I also got the honey mask. My sister gave me the like honey bear mask from Briogeo. It's like the deep the deep conditioning mask, but it looks like the honey bear. Super cute, love that. And I've noticed this is a really nice shampoo. I feel like it does a really nice job of like sudsing up and scrubbing, and almost like, you know how like detox shampoos or charcoal shampoos can like really detox the scalp and really like scrub in there and get stuff out. I feel like this shampoo does a nice job of getting the gunk out of my hair, and it makes my hair feel less weighted down when I use this shampoo. However, pairing it with the conditioner, it feels super weighted down. So I don't know what the deal is there. It could just be like my dry, thick hair. Again, I'm not even nearly close to like fine hair at all. I have very thick hair. So find hair people, if you have had a different experience with the Sol de Janeiro shampoo and conditioner line, please let us know. But the conditioner I have really been enjoying. This is definitely something that I would repurchase. I love that it has that original Boom Boom scent, leaves my hair smelling nice. You know, I can pair it with my Boom Boom lotion and just feel like all the feels about how I smell good for once. And I've really been enjoying this conditioner. I really like this, would consider repurchasing this. Again, I really like the Biolash Hydrosource line, but maybe I could like go back and forth between the two so my hair doesn't get as used to one shampoo over another. I really want to try the shampoo, the charcoal like detox shampoo from Briogeo as well. Or if you guys have other really great shampoo recommendations for like detoxing the scalp that I could use like once a week, would love to hear them from you guys. But the shampoo was a hit for me, and I wanted to let you know that. Again, $25 I do think is very expensive. If you're interested in trying both, I would recommend the set for $45, so you can save that $5 to $10. I can't remember if it's $40 or $45 for the set, but so you can save that little extra money. For me, the conditioner didn't work, but what I will say is a lot of just regular conditioners haven't been working for me lately. I've had to be doing those deep conditioning treatments just to really get my hair feeling soft and smooth like I want it. But really enjoyed the shampoo from Sol de Janeiro, so definitely wanted to recommend it. Next up is a random product that I believe I got in my December BoxyCharm. This is from In Beauty Project. And this is their Power Up Dual Phase Setting Mist. So you shake this up, and this can help to set makeup, energize, or revive the skin, and it filters away dull, tired, and stressed out complexion. So I like to use this two ways. I like to use this as a priming mist, and then I also like to use this midway through my makeup routine, kind of interchangeably with my MAC Fix Plus, to melt my powders in. And this does a really nice job of melting powders in, because this does have a little bit of a luminosity to it. Nothing that touches like Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, but this definitely gives life back into the skin. So I love to use this midway through my makeup routine. Not sure where I can pick this up, but I will be on the hunt for this, because of all of my like more dewy setting sprays, I really like this because it is not at all like a heavy dewy setting spray. Even the Glow Recipe Watermelon Mist, I used to think that you couldn't go too heavy handed with that, but I've had days where I've done that. This, I truly have not had a day where I've done that, and I have really been enjoying this, which I was shocked by, because when I got this product in my box, I was not at all excited for this. And then one day I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna whip this out, spray it on my face. It also has a really nice spray, like super fine mist. It smells just like super clean, and almost like a like not green grass way, but like I imagine like water dripping off of like a leaf in like the Amazonian desert, or not desert, Amazonian jungle. I've had some really weird analogies today, but that is truly like what I think about. It just smells fresh, and it really smells nice, and it truly just makes my face feel like hydrated and revived. Like I think about if I was in Texas and like in the blazing hot heat, I would carry this in my purse, and throughout the day I would just be misting this on my face to like cool myself down. So I was really impressed by this. I was really excited to get to try this, because obviously I don't think I ever would have found this product had I not received it in my BoxyCharm, and I am thoroughly impressed by this guy. A skincare item I wanted to recommend. So this is from Pharmacy. This is their Honeymoon Glow. I got this in a BoxyCharm quite a few months ago, and I just recently pulled this out, and I have been loving the results that I have been getting from this. So I use this 2 times a week. This isn't something I want to use from a day-to-day basis because I think it's just a little bit too harsh for my skin, but this has AHA, it's an AHA resurfacing night serum, and it has hydrating honey and gentle flower acids. So this does a nice job of exfoliating the skin but also hydrating the skin at the same time, so your skin isn't feeling like a snake shedding its skin. It still feels hydrated, and my skin has never felt smoother. This is something I did not expect to fall in love with, but I truly have, and I will 100% repurchase this when I finish this. I feel like Pharmacy is a brand that I have been not like off put by, but I've tried some products from them that I've just not been that impressed with. So I was just thinking like, I'm not gonna like this, and I love it. And then speaking of Pharmacy, I have one other product to mention by them in my faves. So I was in Sephora the other day and I wanted to pick up one of the fresh lip balms, but I was over by the Pharmacy area and I noticed for $10 I could pick up their Pharmacy Honey Butter Beeswax Lip Balm, $10. And I freaking love this. I'm gonna put this over my lipstick right now. This is so hydrating. This I think might be my new favorite lip balm, like to carry with me throughout the day. So it's not like a coconutbalm.com where it's like a really weird applicator. Like this is just like a standard chapstick, but it is so hydrating. Also, this sat in my car overnight in the freezing cold in Minnesota, and it still like glided over the lips so easily. Sometimes like you leave your chapstick in the car and it's like you're tugging at your lips to put it on. No, this was still super hydrating and just glided right over my lips. I was super impressed by this. Will absolutely be restocking on these because I want one in my purse, I want one in my nightstand, I want one in my vanity, I want one in my work desk. They're only $10. So I was super impressed by this. If you were looking for a good lip balm that's gonna keep your lips hydrated, highly recommend this one from Pharmacy. I am in love. Okay, and then I just have a couple more products. Some of these you will see again when I do my like Sephora rehaul, talking about my reviews on all of the products I've recently hauled, but I have to mention a couple of these, starting with this Hourglass concealer. I love this, you guys. I think I maybe have finally found my favorite concealer, which sucks because this is an expensive concealer, but this is so hydrating under the lips, under the eyes, but leaves your skin like it gives a really good amount of coverage. Like I would say full coverage. I do have like a larger freckle right here, and this covers that freckle, and therefore I know like when it covers that freckle and you can't see it, I'm like, okay, this is a full coverage concealer, but it looks so natural on the skin. It never looks cakey. I've worn this for 10 to 12 hours and I never feel like embarrassed underneath my eyes. It never looks crepey. It sets really well with all of the powders that I've tried setting with it. I have tried the Glossier Wowder, I've tried the Too Faced Ethereal Setting Powder, as well as the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. I've loved the way all of them have looked with this paired underneath the eyes. I do have mine in the shade Creme Vanish, and I heard one of the Sephora associates say that this is something that does oxidize, which I have noticed. Like I'll put it on in the morning and it looks really light underneath my eyes, but like 30 minutes go by and I would say it has shifted at least like half a shade darker. So keep that in mind when you are trying to figure out what shade you want. Again, if I didn't say, I have the shade Cream and it works really, really well for me. I think it's the second lightest shade. I was really interested in picking up the brush that goes with it, but passed because I was like, girl, you've been spending so much money lately. Still interested in picking up that concealer brush at some point, but I highly recommend this concealer by Hourglass. I know it's expensive, but I think it's well worth the price point. And then 2 more products. This is one I am surprised to be sharing with you guys, especially in this category, but this is from Glossier and it is their Cloud Paint. I have mine in the shade Puff. And I will say I am not the biggest fan of liquid blushes, so I was really hesitant to pick this up, but I have been wanting to like dabble in cream products a little bit more and see what we can do. This is so pigmented. I didn't even put that much on and it's so pigmented. I do really like this shade. It just gives like a really cute like baby doll sort of vibe to the cheeks, And one way that I really love to use this is I will go in with my Ulta contour stick as my bronzer. Then I will use this with a beauty blender to dab it all over my cheeks and give that flush to the cheeks. Then I'll go in with my Milk lipstick, and then I will use the Glossier Wowder all over my face to kind of set and lock in my face, especially if I'm going to work and I know I'm going to be there for 10 to 12 hours. I really want to lock that in, but the Glossier Wowder doesn't take away from the pigmentation of the face. And I did this the other day and I got so many compliments on the way that my skin looked. And I gotta say, this is like turning me on to cream products a little bit. Like, I definitely want to pick up more of these. I've also been more inspired to reach for my Flower Beauty liquid blushes. So I don't know what it is about this product, but I can kind of, I'm starting to believe the hype on this. I can definitely see in the foreseeable future that I might be bringing more of these into my collection this year, because I was really impressed, and it sort of just like sparked this motivation in me to start using cream products more often, which I'm all about. So very excited and happy about this. If you guys haven't tried the cloud paints, I would recommend. I would try and kind of put together an order from Glossier that's going to like put you over the threshold of free shipping. They have amazingly fast shipping, I will say. So definitely recommend this one. Again, like the coconutbalm.com or the balm.com in general is a nice product. It's just like not my favorite. That's why that was in the find. But if you've been interested in trying that, I would recommend like you could toss that into your order with this. I know I'm still interested in trying their boy like brow gel or whatever, but if you are building a basket at Glossier, I definitely recommend checking out their cloud paints. And then the last product that I wanted to mention as a favorite was this palette from Milk Cosmetics. This I received over the holidays, and I wanted to wait till I was able to get through every single shade throughout this palette before giving my review. I even have used the black shade, and I gotta say, you guys, I am so impressed by this. I was a little hesitant when I like started to want this, and I was a little hesitant when I started to reach into this, just because with the Melt Smoke Sessions palette, which I own, I didn't have the best experience with that. But this paired with Melt Smoke Sessions, which many of you have said to me, they pair together really nicely as well. And what I love about this Gemini palette, so if you guys don't know about like the Gemini star sign or Gemini zodiac sign, so my husband's a Gemini, which is why I've done research into this. But basically, Geminis can have almost like a split personality. Like they can be one person one day and a totally different person the next, which completely describes my husband, which I think is just so phenomenal, because I completely live up to my Taurus status when it comes to my star sign. But what I love about this is the Gemini, I feel like almost has like that split personality. So down here you can have your more like neutral tones, but then up here you have your like grungy greens. And I've had a lot of fun with the grungy greens. These were definitely very intimidating to me, but the mattes blend so easily. Now I will say there is quite a bit of kick up or powder kick up, but it doesn't lead to fallout on the eyes. And it's one of those products where if you leave the kick up there, you can kind of dip back in and use your kick up to like keep blending, so you don't have to waste all that kick up. And it almost looks like my palette is unused, even though I've used it a ton. So if that says anything about like the kick up, I feel like they're still pressed pretty firmly, but there is that kick up on most of these. I will say my least favorite shade in the entire palette is the shade Gemini, which is this shimmer shade right here. It just sometimes can come off as a little bit chunky. It's still a beautiful shade, but that would by far be my least favorite in the palette. I mean, I could do without the black, but I get it. And then I paired this with my Melt Smoke Sessions palette and really enjoyed the looks that I've been able to create using these two in tandem. So I love the artwork behind all of the Melt releases. I think Melt as a brand just really intrigues me. I don't like want to go out and purchase every single release that they have, because I know some of the releases just truly don't fit into what I'm looking for in a palette. Like the ones they just released where it was like the day and then the night, like the really vibrant, and then the other palette, beautiful palettes, considered purchasing, but I knew they just weren't going to be palettes that I would ever use, so I decided to pass on them. But I just think Melt takes so much time and care into creating a product, from the artwork to the actual product inside. Like, so much thought goes into every product, and I can just really appreciate that about a brand and really respect that, rather than some of these brands that just pump stuff out every day. So that's my feelings on the Melt Gemini. I love this palette. I know it's more expensive, but I do recommend, if it's something that you have been, you know, if you've had your eye on this, I think it's a really nice palette. Mattes blend really easily, and this is something that I could even get away with if I'm thinking like this end of the spectrum, easily get away with for work appropriate looks, which I can appreciate. So after that, you guys, this was probably a really long video, but those are my favorite fails and in-betweens for the month of January. You will have to leave me a comment down below and let me know what products were you loving in the month of January. I would love to hear from you, or did you have any fails? Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and supporting my channel, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.